African-American Alex Haley produced a film called Roots. And in Roots, he dramatizes the life of a young man uprooted from Jufure village in what is now known as the Gambia, Kunta Kinte. And they take Kunta Kinte to the United States of America. When they take Kunta Kinte to the United States of America, the first thing that they do to him is to beat him up, that he may change his name. So that Kunta Kinte is beaten out of him, and they introduce a new being called Toby.
Your name is Toby. You're going to learn to say your name. Let me hear you say it. What's your name?
Kunta Kinte.
When the master gives you something, you...
That is what they do to us. They beat our Africanness out of us. When we are all empty, they fill us with something that is alien. And then we begin to think like them.
They beat our Africanness out of us. They beat our Africanness out of us. And when we are empty, they fill us with something alien. Hi. Just listen to this.
We begin to think that our hair is not good enough, so that our women must buy wigs from dead women in Asia. So that our women must reject their skin, they bleach it, that they may become whiter. So that our women can remove their eyebrows and eyelashes. So that our women can paint their lips red. They do that to us. So that our women can stop eating, that they may become slender. They do that to us. And they do that to us because they know that our women are the fountain of life.
Exactly.
And that when they change our women, we men who are weak will be changed.
We'll follow suit.
We must stop that. We are created in God's image. You know, John Garang Dimabior in Sudan once asked the Arabs, why do you want to Arabize us? Why do you want to Islamize us? This God who created us, Nuer, Dinka, Zulu, Kosa, Herero, Nama, Ovambo, Ovimbundu, Igbo, Luo, Agekoyo, Dogon, Wolof, Yoruba, Fulani, Fulfude, was he stupid? If he is all wise, is he not a God of diversity who wants to be celebrated in different and diverse ways?
What's different? What is the fight about? Religious fight.
We must not accept. We must, in the nature of things, change ourselves. You know, just this morning, I was reading the latest work of a great African, Achille Mbembe, from the Dark Night, Essays in Decolonization. And he says that the only place that we must start decolonizing is the mind, because the mind is the standard of the man. I was thinking about the writings of my own countryman, Ngugi wa Thiong'o, decolonizing the mind. All battles are fought in the mind. René Descartes was right because knowledge is universal. Cogito ergo sum, I think so I am.
Think so I
So
am.
we must think. Because once our minds are changed, then our spirituality is energized. And once our spirituality is energized, then we exercise the ghost of low self-esteem. And once we exercise the ghost of low self-esteem, then we begin to discover our potential. Then our economies begin to grow. Then we mine our gold and improve them. You know, how can it be that Africa is the richest continent on the earth and our gold is mined by De Beers? How can it be that Africa is the richest continent on the world and our diamond is produced in South Africa, in Botswana, and Namibia, and in Sierra Leone, and in Liberia, but the price is determined in Antwerp, in Belgium? How can it be? How can it be that Africa produces cocoa in Togo, in Cote d'Ivoire, and in Ghana, and chocolate is then made in Switzerland and in Belgium, who have not even a bush of cocoa? How can it be that tea is produced in Ethiopia and in Uganda and in Kenya, and when it is taken to the United Kingdom, they now call it English tea? How can it be? How can it be?
English tea.
How can it be?
English
How can
tea.
it be that coltan is mined in the Democratic Republic of Congo, but not a single African country makes a mobile phone? How can it be? How can it be? It can only be because we have allowed our minds to be captured. It can only be because we have allowed ourselves to be spiritually confused. It can only be because we have allowed ourselves to be slaves of others. And the God that we worship, knowing that we are confused, has turned his head on the other side, so that when we pray and fast, he does not listen. Or if he listens, he does not care. He's waiting for us to realize ourselves so that we can worship in truth.
Spirit.
And you know, this is intergenerational. The pains that are being visited upon this generation are out of the sins that were committed by the other generation. It is a time to repent, so that we who have transgressed may say that we have repented, because the future now does not lie in us. The future lies in the young ones. Chinua Achebe was right. These are the young suckers that will grow when the old banana dies. These are the very same upon whose shoulder Africa shall rise. Your duty and my duty is to plant the tree in the knowledge that one generation plants a tree, another generation waters the tree, another generation prunes the tree, another generation enjoys its shade. That is our duty.
We must be part of it. We must be part of it.
So this morning, we are not here to say new things. We are only here to remind ourselves that in the beginning there was God, and that God created man, and that man I suspect was an African, and that man could not have been anything else but an African. Why I suspect so? Because all creation says that man came from the earth. And as I said, the earth is either black or brown.
Yes.
So in the beginning there was an African. And in the beginning there was a spirit into which that mold was made alive, and that spirit was God. And I suspect that God gave us intelligence. And I suspect that God created Africa where it is in the very middle, because the very middle, the very center is the fulcrum, and that is why I suspect Africa is where it is, enjoying not too much cold, enjoying not too much sun. It is in the middle. It is indeed life measures as it should be measured. That is why I suspect in his divine wisdom he put all the minerals in Africa. If it is not gold, it is coltan. If it is not coltan, it is iron ore. If it is not iron ore, it is copper. And he does not stop there. When he was distributing rivers and lakes, he ensured that Africa had the best of lakes, the best of rivers, and he did not stop there. He ensured that we are surrounded with the best of oceans. If it is not the Atlantic, it is the Indian, which should be called the African. I do not know why they call it the Indian Ocean, but that is their conspiracy. Then there is the Mediterranean. They also call it another name, and he did not stop there. Once he had done that, he ensured that this is a continent that has men and women who are so forgiving, so generous. This is the only continent that has welcomed all civilizations. We started with the Arabs. They abused us. Then came the Portuguese. We welcomed them. They abused us. Then the Dutch came. We welcomed them. They abused us. Then the Italians came. We welcomed them. They abused us. Then the Germans came. We welcomed them. They abused us. Then the French came, we welcomed them, they abused us. Then the English came, we welcomed them and they abused us. Then the Indians came, we welcomed them and they abused us. Then the Lebanese came, we welcomed them, they abused us. Now the Chinese are coming, we are welcoming them and they are abusing us. We must stop this. And we can only stop this through self-realization. And that is why when I conclude, I must conclude by making reference to a great African, Ante Cheikh Diop of Senegal, who writing in his book, The African Origin of Humankind, Myth or Reality, says, this is a problem that can only be solved through aggression. And I'm telling us, this is the time now for Africa to rise. Africa will be great, Africa must be great, and it will only be great if we choose to spiritually decolonize our minds, our hearts, and culture, because it is only then that Africa will be a great continent. God bless you.
I'm just going to show you guys the difference between clones and skin masks that are going around because the world is a stage and everything is not what you think it is.
Humans made to order, mothers giving birth to themselves, babies conceived just so their body parts can be transplanted. Come with me into the scary new world of cloning. The nightmarish stuff of science fiction has suddenly become a reality.
The first baby clone is born. She was born yesterday at 11:55 a.m. in the country where she was born. So this will not give you more details about the location. She's fine. We call her Eve.
My first gen was born in Jersey. However, I was cloned by Clonate in Canada. My model number is 0112568, if anyone wants to see the registration in Clonate. When I was cloned, they wiped a lot of memory, but when I stole the documents before escaping, I read that the mother was Puerto Rican and I guess the father, surrogate, you could say, was the sperm donor was the Sicilian.
I think you have my head on a stick. Oh my God.
That's scary.
Oh my God.
Just me, or what is this creature that doesn't breathe and has fish gills or something weird?
Arian Foster recently said on a podcast the NFL is scripted. So we decided to ask players what was their script they got when they were drafted.
My script was that they told me that I was going to tear my ACL my rookie year, and I was actually kind of mad when I saw that, you know. Like, I read my script, and it said, listen, you're going to tear your ACL the last regular season game. And I was sad because that means I missed the Super Bowl and wasn't able to play it.
My script, it was pretty long. I didn't know if I was going to make the league because, you know, trying to learn something like that was pretty tough.
My script been pretty crazy because this is my 4th year in the NFL.
and I've been to 3 Super Bowls. So when I walked in of day one, they was like, this what they handed me. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take that one right there. I'm gonna take the 3 appearances in full. I mean, my script was supposed to be making $100 million, but it didn't happen that way, so they lied to me.
The NFL is scripted. According to Arian Foster, it's scripted. And it brings me back to Super Bowl 51 when we're down 28-3. We're in the locker room and they throw us the script for this amazing comeback. I'm sitting here like, these writers are out of their mind. No one's going to believe this. Right. And we went out and executed and, it looked good. And then the next year I saw on the script in March that I had to tear my ACL going forward, missed the 2017 season.
You just have to flood a country's public square with enough raw sewage. You just have to raise enough questions, spread enough dirt, plant enough conspiracy theorizing that citizens no longer know what to believe. Once they lose trust in their leaders, in mainstream media, in political institutions, in each other, in the possibility of truth, the game's won.
All of a sudden, we were given this free thing from the Society of America. 78% of your free clinics were placed in black and urban areas for the purpose of something free of charge from a racist society. As to put it in words of one pro, we don't need so many Negroes anymore. There's no more cotton to pick. These feelings about black people, this was one way of doing it as a social benefit, if you will. We're here to help you. Black women, and let it be stated, black women never demonstrated, demanded, or even requested the right to an been asking for the right to decent housing, the right to education, and that's the right to health care. And all we've been given free of charge is the right to keep our unborn child.
In 1993, the government started spraying our grain source with folic acid. Guess what went on the rise? Antidepressants, anti-anxiety medication, gut medication.
So we're worth more to them sick.
Oh, for sure. They came up with the folic acid, really it's folate, which prevents neural tube defects in pregnant women. So that's why you hear when women are pregnant, they're supposed to take high doses of folic acid. That's fine if you don't have an MTHFR genetic mutation. If you do, then folic acid really is what's causing postpartum depression. It happened to me. Couldn't figure out why. I was like, my child is healthy, I am happy, I'm thrilled. Why am I crying in the shower and going out of bed? And as soon as I stopped taking the prenatal vitamin, it all went away. And so then your doctor blames it on the hormones. In reality, if postpartum depression was hormone related, then all pregnant women would have postpartum depression, but we don't.
And do you think that the country will see the United States will see the first president or the first woman president?
We already have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
Michelle is a
I'm sorry, she's a what?
We all know.
Oh my gosh.
When all those people were saying plant-based meat is the future, like, it is. It's really bad for you. You're way better off buying cows and eating cows than you are buying corn. Because in order to grow a stalk of corn, a lot has to die. And if you're using monocrop agriculture and using industrialized farming methods and you're controlling enormous swaths of land with only one crop, that is totally unnatural, doesn't exist anywhere in nature. And in order to do that, you have to poison everything else. You have to kill all the animals, you have to poison the land, you have to strip the topsoil, you have to use industrialized fertilizer. You can't grow things that way normally.
That the key to understanding where you live is right in front of your eyes. I will show you now what it is that you're looking at and what you don't see. The image of the moon contains the map of the Earth. In fact, it looks like it's the only true map of the world. Mirrored, distorted, and sketchy, but beyond a shadow of the doubt, perfectly accurate in reflecting all the continents and the right proportions. It takes a bit of time to see it and to get used to it because it requires a lot of internal effort to overcome a lifetime of conditioning and to believe that what you're being taught from birth is not true. But if you have an open mind and if you're curious about what you're looking at, you will realize that this is not the first time you've seen it. and that somebody might know this truth too, but they don't want to disclose it to you.
Our water is being poisoned with fluoride and heavy metals. Our food is fake. The weather is being manipulated. Clouds are actually created to block the sun. And that chemtrails actually kill people. Our government actually stands for mind control. And that big events are actually staged to keep us distracted from the real truth. Artists and people of power actually practice rituals at these events without the fans actually knowing. When a doctor gives you a shot, he actually gets a bonus. Now, they don't do that for chemotherapy, so why do they do that for shots? And that war in our military is actually used to decrease the population. Yeah. How do you explain that to people?
The government tried to break the firmament. In 1962, after Operation High Jump and the Arctic Treaty was signed, the government started a new project called Operation Fishbowl. The United States did a series of high-altitude nuclear tests where they would shoot nuclear missiles straight up into the sky. The reason for doing this was because they wanted to see what would happen if a nuke was set off in the atmosphere. You would think that one time would be enough, but they did this test 11 times.
11?
Making people theorize that they were doing it for other reasons. Some believe that this was the government's attempt to break through the firmament. Not to mention the name of the project, Operation Fishbowl. Why would they shoot a series of missiles in air to see how high they can blow up? Do you think the government was trying to break through the firmament?
This is the video that Bill Gates put together, along with the team, complete with simulated news reports like this. This is really what they're preparing for us. This video is called Get Ready. Watch.
Never seen this before.
Catastrophic contagion, a global challenge. Breaking news.
Two Latin American countries alerted the WHO of several outbreaks of a new infectious disease that's mysteriously appearing across the region. Severe epidemic enterovirus respiratory syndrome.
SEERS.
Oh, so that's the name, guys. Just write this down. That'll be the name of it, okay? It's
SEERS.
SEERS. It's going to be called the Severe Epidemic Enterovirus Respiratory Syndrome, and 2025 is when we'll see it, okay? Now, it says at the bottom this is a fictional scenario, but come on.
A bill in Tennessee would require any food with a to have a clear label.
Senator Tammy Nichols proposed a similar bill in Idaho.
Basically, for the consumer, what we're looking at is just providing notification of the presence of materials that are within the product. So I do know of mRNA is one that they are looking at trying to add into right now lettuce for public consumption.
In 2019, the NIH website stated, in broken English by the way, at present edible are developed for veterinary and human use, but the main challenge faced by edible is its acceptance by the population so that it is necessary to make aware the society about its use and benefits.
This man says McDonald's sells 6.5 million burgers every single day, but in his entire life, he has never seen the places that could make this possible. No massive cow farms, no gigantic rearing centers, no industrial slaughter zones capable of processing such insane numbers. It doesn't add up, not even a little. I got curious, so I went digging, and the numbers, they don't just surprise you, they hit you like a punch in the chest. 6.5 million burgers a day. That's 195 million burgers every month. Now stop and really think about that for a moment. 195 million patties every single month. Where are the cows for all of this? Because look around you. You don't see millions of cows. You don't see endless fields packed with herds ready to be turned into meat. You don't see anything remotely close to what these numbers demand. Even if one cow could magically become dozens of burgers, you'd still need millions of cows every day. So the question becomes unavoidable. Where are they coming from? Are there hidden mega ranches somewhere? Facilities so huge, so sealed off that normal people can't even get near them. People laugh when they hear this. They brush it off. They pretend the scale doesn't terrify them. Because the truth is, none of us have ever actually seen the source. Billions of burgers consumed every year, but the farms we see, they don't even scratch the surface. The next time you bite into a Big Mac, just stop for a second. Ask yourself, what am I really eating? Where did it truly come from? And how is it possible that humanity consumes this much meat without ever seeing the machinery behind it? Something is happening behind the curtain. Something massive. Something invisible. And whatever it is, it feeds millions of meals every single day, while the world remains completely in the dark.
Go ahead, Tate.
I don't care what y'all say, these folks is eating human beings. Come on now, what? No.